This is Mario 64 playing on the Quest 3, not streamed from a PC and not sideloaded. This is running directly inside an app you can download from the actual Quest store. And it's not just N64. It can play PlayStation 1, Game Boy Advance, Game Gear, classic Nintendo games, and more, all inside of a virtual retro gaming room. So yeah, when I say the Quest 3 just became way more useful, that's exactly what I mean. Today I'm going to show you how it works and how easy it is to get these games into the app, and whether this is just a cool new trick or one of the best new use cases for the Quest 3. Let's jump into the headset and I'll show you just how easy this actually is. All right, this is Retro GameDev VR, and the room actually looks pretty nice. You can see some particles floating around there and the lighting, but you're not here for particles or the room, you're here for the games, right? This is the CRT TV you're going to use to play the games, although there are 3 actual locations you can play the games on. You got this TV. If you click the joystick, it moves you to the different locations. You got this closer monitor you can use to play it, and here is the computer you're going to use to actually set everything up and to play games or to turn them on. And then you can switch to the bed. You have this kind of Game Boy Color style handheld that you can move around. You can set where you want it and then play it, or you can get it closer, or you can hold it. Really, I kind of like the reflections on it, actually. But let's jump over to the settings, and I'll show you a couple of things really quickly before we jump into the game that's important. First off, under settings, you can change the background audio up and down. I've turned it down quite a bit because the music's cool, but we don't need it. Desktop theme, you can change the color. Handheld, you can change the color as well. Rumble, you can change. The CRT effect, I actually prefer. I like the CRT effect on, but that's up to your interpretation. Nighttime, you can switch it to night. Honestly, it's better to play games at night, in my opinion, but we'll leave it on day for now. And then power saving is the important one. This game works at like a super high resolution. It's running at a really high resolution, which is why everything is so crisp and looks so nice. That's going to drain your battery. So if you're not plugged in either to a battery pack or to the wall, I would turn power saving on because it'll save your battery. Otherwise, I'm using like the Bobo VR. When I switch this on, you can see it gets a little bit blurrier. I'm not sure how much you can see that in the headset, but I can definitely see it, or in the recording, I can definitely see it in the headset. I would recommend getting something like a Bobo if you're going to be traveling and you want to use this, but that's just me. You can hit play, although there is learn and create, but you can hit play if you want to play your games. Transferring is extremely easy. I've already kind of hinted at that. All you're going to do is click on transfer, and then you're going to use the IP address that is right here, and you're going to go into a browser and type that in the address bar. You can use your PC and your phone. You're going to type that into your address bar, and then you're going to enter your PIN. Once you're done that, it's going to bring you to a menu. And in that menu, you're going to be able to upload whatever backups or ROMs you have into the specific sections for that type of game. You can do it from your phone or from your PC, so as long as you've got backups for wherever you get them, I'm not going to show you where to get them, on your phone or on your hard drive on your PC, all you're going to do is upload them. That's it. Once you're done that, you don't even need to transfer from a PC in any other way, and that's it. You just got to be connected to the same Wi-Fi. As long as you're using a phone, it has to be connected to the same Wi-Fi as your headset. Same thing with the browser. On a PC, it's got to be on the same Wi-Fi, and you can easily transfer it. It's just using local transfers. It's not even using the internet. It's just locally connecting. Once that's done, you can go in to whatever console you've used. You've got the C64, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced, NES, SNES, N64, Master System, Game Gear, and PS1. And you can also put videos on here as well if you want. Now to test this and show you really quick, let's go into the N64. We're going to go and jump into Super Mario 64. And normally, if you haven't done this before, you're going to click on it, and it's actually going to pop up with this little pop-up saying you need to download the emulator. You're going to click OK, and it'll download it in a matter of seconds, and then it's it. Now, we've got Mario here on our TV, and we can push this button here if you want to play it on this little handheld console. It's cool for some things. I much prefer playing on this TV. You hear this sound difference? Let me turn this up so I can tell. All right, so you got, and it's spatial too. So like if I turn my head, I can hear the sound over here. It's decent speakers, it's not terrible. Now you got the sound. It actually moves around spatially, which is really cool. And the speakers are more tinny. And then you got the bass from the big speakers, which is cool. So if I hit start, it's going to open up Mario, and you can start a new game. And I'm using the touch controllers. You can connect a gamepad to this through Bluetooth, and it'll work great. Whatever gamepad, you could do PlayStation, I believe. I think you can use the Pro controller from the Switch 2 or Switch 1, and you can connect an Xbox controller. And that'll work probably better than touch controllers, but the touch controllers do work. It depends on which console you're playing. I think with the N64 and the PS1, there might be a few buttons that are a little messed up. Oops, I hit the wrong thing. Hold on. Because of the the lack of buttons. But the developer is really working hard to try to figure out how to make that work with just the touch controllers. And for the vast majority, it actually works. Let's just keep moving through here. So here we go. Look at that. Now we can play Super Mario 64. on the, that's cool, on this TV here. Let's go over here. All right, so that's just a quick test. Let's jump over and switch games. Now, if I want to go over and play like a real retro game, I can go to SNES. Should be able to play, let's see, which one of these can I play? Some of these ROMs aren't working because I didn't put them in here right. So I know Toy Story works. These ones I put the zips in on accident instead of the actual ROM files, and that's probably why they're not working right. We're just gonna play a little bit of each game so you can see kind of how each emulator runs. We'll jump into PlayStation next because I've got some of my favorite PlayStation games of all time that we can check out. So it's so long since I played some of these games. I love these games, but it's been a long time since I played them. This gives you an idea of how it works. Aladdin is actually my favorite. Aladdin and Lion King are my two favorites. As far as like the movie tie-in games go, which there's a lot of them on SNES and on Genesis. And this doesn't have Genesis currently, by the way. At some point, the developer's looking at hopefully adding it in, but the problem apparently is getting a commercial version to work, like that you can actually commercially use. So we'll see if that ends up happening or not. Let's go back and we'll do another game. I love Mega Man Battle Network. I've got Superstar Saga on here too, and Legend of Zelda, and then I've got Super Mario Advance 2, which is such a great game. I really like Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, what I've played of that. I never played through a lot of these games. I played a lot as a kid, but I never finished them. Am I the only one that's done that? You know, not finished games for some of these older games? I used to just play so many different games and have fun with them. Now you could play this on a handheld if you wanted to, which is kind of cool too. There we go. This is the way it's meant to be played, right? This is a Game Boy Advance game, so we should be playing it on a handheld console. Now let's try PlayStation. I have not tried PlayStation on this yet. Spyro I added in because of the new Spyro announcement. Crash, though, one of the all-time greats. Yes, we have the remake, or whatever you want to call it, the re-release of the Crash trilogy, and it's great, but there's just something so nostalgic and amazing about going back and playing this game on a CRT-style TV in the original format, like the original PlayStation version. Look at this. It's the original Naughty Dog. Such a great era of games. This is the first game that really inspired me to be like an achievement hunter of some kind, because they allowed you to try to collect all the apples in the levels, collect the gems. Actually, are they apples? I'm not even 100% sure what fruit they are, to be honest. But you had to try to collect all of the different fruit and all of the different gems and not get hit in some levels. Then you have the time-based time trial mode, which is cool. This is the first game that I remember like actually inspiring me to want to collect everything and to try to not just beat the game, but to like 100% complete it. I'm pretty sure this is the first game that did that for me. One of my favorite levels, or some of my favorite styles of levels in this, are the levels where you have to, oops, there's a box back there, where you have to run away. Like, they're always the most stressful, but always some of the most fun levels, where you have to run away from like the dinosaur, or I love the motorbike levels in the Crash 3. That's that one, right? Isn't that Crash 3? Warped. I just love all the Crash games. They're so great. So there, that shows you, it gives you an idea of how everything works. Let's go to Game Gear. Did I do Game Gear? I didn't do Game Gear yet, right? This is something that, like, I wish they would re-release all of these games in remakes, because I love playing things on like modern consoles when they do a remake. In fact, I wish that they would re-release the DuckTales game and Castle of Illusion on PS5. I never actually played this game before. This is a new one for me. Lucky Dime Caper. Oh, okay. Okay. This is just a standard platformer. Oops. Oh, platformer that you can't go back in. Traditional platformer. Something so nostalgic about these old platformers. There you go. That gives you an idea of how it actually works to play games in this. It's fantastic. Like, it is really cool. The only thing it's missing right now for me is multiplayer. If you could bring someone else into your room and sit on the couch next to them and play multiplayer, like, racing, or, I mean, can you imagine Ridge Racer, Gran Turismo or something on PlayStation 1, or something on the N64 like Smash Bros. That would be amazing if you could do that. Or maybe one person sits at the computer and one person sits over here, so you can do like multiplayer without having to do split screen. Although I love split screen. I don't know. There's just so many possibilities with this. There you go, that is Retro GameDev VR on the Quest 3. This is really a transformative piece of software in my opinion because it means that more people can actually test out emulation on the Quest 3, which is an amazing use case already, but this simplifies it drastically and makes it so that pretty much everyone can try it. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and as always, happy questing.